Hello, everybody. I'm gonna give people a couple minutes to arrive and then I'm gonna get going. Put where you are from if you can in the chat. Just trying to see who's here, where you're at. And I also want to make sure y'all can hear me and everything, so that would help. Oh, California. Hello. How's the weather right now? Is it hot? Oh, perfect, perfect. Okay, I think everybody can hear. Oh, it's cold. Oh, it's not cold. See, I'm from Chicago, so 70 degrees, that's not cold at all. That's a beautiful day for us. Ohio. Okay, Midwest in the building. Okay. Has everybody gotten a chance to get signed up for the webinar tomorrow? I have a free webinar tomorrow. Registration was technically supposed to end at 8, but since I'm doing this at 8, I'm extending it to 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you are not already registered to be in the free live webinar that I am doing tomorrow, which is going to cover how to secure carriers, it's not something that I'm going to post on YouTube, so you will have to register and be a part of that webinar in order to get this information. So if you haven't done it, simply go to my website and you will go under courses. Now I got a bunch of people asking like, I can't find how to register. I can't find how to register. So if you just go to my website, you go to courses, and then you have to click view all. So I have several different options of services that I provide, but if you click view all, then you will see the live webinar and you would just proceed as if you were purchasing it, but you'll see that there's no cost. And that way you can get the link sent to you, because I'll be sending the link out tomorrow so that you can join the Zoom and get this information. But today we are talking about your duties as a dispatcher, and I always leave time for you all to ask questions in the end. If you all decide that you want to know something or whatever, you're stuck on something, you can always ask. And yeah, I'll dive on in, but make sure that you all take advantage of this free live webinar. People always saying like, I need some help, and then I'll have a webinar or something and I'll give something away for free, and you all do not always jump on it. So jump on this. It'll be tomorrow at, I believe it's at 7:30, and it'll just be 1 hour, and we'll go over this information about how to secure a carrier, and we will also have a live Q&A afterwards. So jumping right in now, of course, as awesome, I'm glad you got in, Ms. Coleman. I appreciate you all, that you all make it so worth it. Hello, hey Kenyatta, this is one of my mentees. I'm showing her some love. Kenyatta been working hard. She's great, awesome. So if you're at this stage now where you are kind of just getting into the industry and you're trying to figure out what exactly is my job description as a dispatcher. Now I'll read what they have in general, which your job is to coordinate and manage loads on behalf of carriers, and you would basically be coordinating this with a broker. And you would manage the shipment and everything else. You will basically be providing updates and all of that. However, I want you to know that your job duty specifically is going to depend on the services that you're providing. Yes, you're still going to manage loads. Yes, you're still going to coordinate things with the broker. However, your exact job description is going to depend on the services that you provide. It kind of goes hand in hand when I have another video where I talk about what percentage you want to charge. Again, your percentage that you're going to charge is going to depend on what services you're going to provide. So your services that you're providing is what your duties are going to be. Now, there are some duties that are going to be a given, like as a dispatcher, it's your job to stay in communication with everyone. You're not just keeping in communication with the broker, you're keeping in communication with your carrier. And there's going to be information that you relay back and forth. There may be some information that the broker gave, and you want to be the person that contacts your carrier to give that information. The whole point of you is to keep the broker from constantly calling your carrier while they're on the road. So you try to prevent that as best as you can. And the way that you do that is by providing regular updates. 99.999% of the time, they're going to track this load. And you would think that they would just go on the computer and look up the information in real time, where they'll see that it says like, they're currently in Ohio. And you would think like, okay, the carrier should be seeing, or this broker should be monitoring this load, but they're going to ask you for the information directly. They're going to expect it from you. So of course it's obvious they're tracking, but you still have to provide these updates. So the updates you would be providing, you would be saying like the ETA, the estimated time of arrival for your carrier to get on site to get loaded. You will let them know when your carrier is loaded, and you will let them know the ETA of them getting to their destination. You would communicate if there's any issues that arises, like your carrier would contact you and say, hey, I caught a flat, or hey, my check engine light just came on, or I'm overheating, whatever the case may be. I ran into traffic, the weather's bad. Your carrier will let you know the information, and then you would immediately give that information to the broker so that they can kind of be on top of things on their end. A lot of the RACONs, which is the legally binding contract, it will say that part of the terms in order to get paid, in order for your carrier to get paid, is there has to be open communication. So if you are their dispatcher, you don't want to be missing any calls. You don't want to go MIA and now they can't get an update on the shipment. Even though, like I said, they're going to be tracking, but if they reach out to you and they can't get a hold of you, they're immediately going to go and start blowing up that carrier. And your carrier is going to be like, why are they calling me? They're supposed to be talking to you. Now, you will have a few brokers that still find their way to call the carrier because they will have their phone number. But for the most part, all the information comes through you. And the more you keep them informed, the better throughout the entire time. So that's really one of your main roles. And other than that, I'm going to go down a list of services, give you an example of the services that I provide. And I charge 10%. And that's kind of the average that people charge. People can go up to like 12%, but it gets harder to secure you a carrier when you're trying to go up. And it really, again, it depends on what you're offering. So for instance, you can offer load by load dispatching, and load by load dispatching would be more so for a carrier that maybe, during the week they already have a dedicated lane. And so they may only need you 2 days a week, or may only want you 3 days a week, whatever the case may be. And in that case, you would be doing load by load dispatching. So you're not dispatching for them every single day. Another service that you can provide, which would fall under your duties, would be weekly trip planning. Now, though, that's what you really want to go for. You really want to be dispatching for someone full time. You don't really, that doesn't mean turn away someone that says they only need you to dispatch for them 2 days a week or 3 days a week. But your main goal needs to be doing this full time. So you will want someone that you're dispatching for the entire week. So offering weekly trip planning, where you already know Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever, you're keeping them on the road. A service that you provide, a duty, would be rate negotiations. That means that when you go on a load board and you see that load posted for $1,000, you're not just going to take it for what it is. You're actually going to get on that phone and you're going to talk to that broker, and you're going to find a way to get some more money if you can. Using the information that I provided in the other video, which gave you all tips on how to increase, how to provide valid reasons to get more money when it comes down to negotiating. Another service you can provide is factoring assistance. Now, a lot of people get confused with this part because they're like, okay, do I sign up for a factoring company? Do I sign them up for a factoring company? No. All you can do is connect them with the factoring company. When it comes down to factoring, they have to get a credit check. So this is not something you can really do for them. The amount that the factoring company charges them to when they purchase the invoices, sometimes it's like 2%, 2.5, 2.7%. That is based on their credit. So all you would do is connect them with a factoring company so that they can go through that process of getting the credit ran and just getting signed up, which you do want them to have a factoring company. If you get a carrier that doesn't have a factoring company, try your best to get them to sign on with a factoring company. You can even try to work you out something with the factoring company where you're saying, if I bring my carriers to you, what am I getting out of this? Can we have some type of deal where I get some income off of this? And most of the time, they want you to have at least 2 carriers, but you can contact these factoring companies like the OTR, the RTSs, and everyone else, and they will provide you with a percentage for recommending carriers for them. So that's a way you can kind of connect them. You have someone that's interested in getting services, signing on to do service with you, but they don't have a factoring company, then you would just simply say, hey, you can contact this agent and let them know I sent you, and go ahead and get signed up for factoring. That way you're getting paid within 24 to 48 hours. And again, like I mentioned in my other video, if they're getting paid within 24 to 48 hours, there should be no issue with you getting paid at the end of the week. Another service that you're providing, so like I just briefly mentioned, you're going to have to be in communication. So service I provide is 24-hour support. Now that doesn't mean that I'm booking loads all throughout the night, but what that means is, if I have a carrier who's on the road and he might be driving through the night, I'm on call. If he calls me, because things happen. So if something happens that causes any type of delay, they're going to reach out. And then it's your job as the dispatcher to reach out to that broker and relay whatever information you've been given. So most of the time, nothing happens. So nothing happens, you don't get any emergency calls, cool. But if you do, you reach out to a lot of these brokers, or pretty much all of these brokers are going to have a 24-hour support line, whether it's a number that you call or it's an email that you email. And you'll be able to provide them updates, because they do still expect these updates, even if it's a load that's getting dropped at 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. So that's where the 24-hour support comes in. I don't want you all to think like I'm booking loads all through the night. No, nobody's up. It's just a matter of, if you have a carrier that is on the road, yes, you're still going to be there to support them and offer some type of assistance if something happens. The next thing, service or duty that you will have, which is a very important one, and that is completing the carrier packets. And it sounds really simple, but it's easy to make mistakes in this area, and that's why I always tell people, like, if you don't do anything else, learn how to read these raycons, learn how to complete these carrier packets, because if you do it incorrectly, they're not sending it back to you and saying, hey, do it over. They're going to give the load to someone else. So you're going to want to make sure you know how to complete these correctly, and it is a big part of your job. It is the paperwork portion. It is what these carriers decide to sign on with you, so they don't have to do all this paperwork before they book a load. And you will have to complete a carrier packet each time you set up with a new company. So if, let's just say you ran a load for JB Hunt this week and you already completed a carrier packet. If you just did a load with them on Monday and now here you are Wednesday and you're about to book another load with JB Hunt, you're not completing another carrier packet. You're already in their system. You're good to go. Now, most companies, if it's been longer than like 6 months or longer than a year, they'll have you complete another carrier packet. But again, you're only completing these as setup. So if the carrier, once you set them up with that specific broker, you don't have to do it again right away. So just so you know, it's not something you're always doing. It just depends on if you've run loads with that specific company already. Again, if they have, you won't have to do it again. But if they have never ran a load with that company, then you will have to complete a carrier packet on their behalf. Most of them consist of the same information, but they are pretty much all different formats and templates. Another service that you can provide is completing the shipper broker credit check. Now, it sounds harder than it is. Like if you have like a subscription to the DAC load board, you'll see that when you're on the load board, it literally gives the credit score, and you'll kind of read reviews. The reviews are there in the directory. If you haven't watched my load board video where I show you how to use the load board, I do point out where the credit check is, like how you can see what their credit score is. And I typically don't book loads under like a 95 or 90 depending on the company, because like TQL, they don't have that good of a credit score, but you know, they are a big company and they tend to pay out on loads. So you would just do your research. They do have a directory there, and you would do your due diligence and just see like, okay, let me see in the directory what are other people saying about this company, because you may find that people are saying that they didn't get paid, or you know, the company does a lot of stuff to make sure that they don't have to pay you, and that would be kind of including in whatever they're saying in the Raycon, where I say they have some verbiage sometime where they're saying if I can't communicate, or if you're not communicating with me, or if you don't do this by this time, then we're not going to pay you. So you will look in the directory to see if it's a company that's really trying to try any little thing to avoid paying you, and then that'll be a company that you stay away from. So by saying that you offer broker, shipper, credit checks, you're basically saying I'm going to do my due diligence and make sure that this is a good company. Now, a good thing about having a factoring company is they have their own credit system. Like with RTS, they have their own credit scoring system. So basically, if they won't accept this loan, they do it like by color code in a green or a red when you're submitting their information to the factoring company. And when you do that, it'll let you know, like, no, we're not buying that invoice. So if you know the factoring company is not going to do business with this company, then you're not going to want to book that load, because of course you want to guarantee that, you want to make sure that your carrier is going to get paid. So that's another good bonus about having the factoring company. You can kind of gauge it and say, like, if this factoring company is not dealing with that company, then I'm not going to book a load with that company. And so this is kind of some of the services that you can offer. And again, the more that you're offering, the higher the percentage you're going to charge. So when you do start to try to secure a carrier, you're going to run into a lot of carriers trying to say, like, well, I know a dispatcher that'll dispatch for 5% or for 8% or 7%. And you tell them, well, you go, I wish you the best of luck. If anything changes and you're ready to pay for the quality of service that I'm going to provide, then we can do business. Don't feel any type of way about having to turn anyone down. All business is not good business. All money is not good money. You may decide that, hey, we just don't align. And if they're in the beginning, they're already trying to hound you about your price or trying to make comments about the amount that you're charging when it's just 10%, then you may have to make the decision and say, like, okay, well, no problem at all. I wish you the best. And then you move on to someone else. And that's going to happen because they're going to try to talk you down and say, well, all you're doing is XYZ. And if they try to talk you down, you just spit out all these services that you're providing. Well, I'm negotiating on your behalf. I'm completing all your paperwork. I'm staying on call. I'm doing blah, blah, blah. And you'll list all of these things that we just talked about, and you show your value. And that's something that we're going to be touching on during the webinar tomorrow. So that kind of sums up what your role will be as a dispatcher, just knowing that it is up to you to communicate. You will have to answer that phone. You will have to be on call if something is going wrong with that load or for whatever, to just provide updates. It doesn't always have to be negative. It doesn't always have to be something wrong. You're just making sure that you are communicating with both your carrier and with your with the broker that you're dealing with. And you're tracking, you can track the shipments too. Like a lot of these carriers, they'll have their own different systems that you can tap into there, whether it's the TMS system or if they have their different devices like Motive. It'll let you track and see them in real time. You'll see exactly where they are without even having to call your carrier, and you can still provide that update to your to that broker and letting them know, hey, well, I see them right now. They're about 35 miles away from their drop, and it keeps you from even having to contact your carrier to access information, which is ultimately interrupting them from trying to get to where they're going. So all of these things are good to know and good to have. So I'll leave this time for you all to ask any questions that you may have. I already stated that you all need to go ahead. I'm keeping it open until 10 o'clock for registration for the free live webinar tomorrow that is going to teach you all how to secure carriers. And I'll go more in depth on different ways that you can try to secure a carrier and just increase the odds of you being able to land your first carrier and start booking loads. Also, we do have the course on sale right now for 50% off until the end of the month. So after that, it's going back up to $400. So if you don't take advantage of it, I don't know what to tell you. Any questions, go ahead and ask away. I am here to answer. Hey, Mark. And I got my computer up over here, so that's why I'm looking. Did you all get into did everybody register? Let me know where you at. Any questions? And it doesn't have to be necessarily pertaining to what we just talked about. Any questions as a whole, I'm here to answer them. I am here to answer them. Okay, hold on. Where did it go? Okay, so usually when we make cold calls, we tell them we already have carriers and use the low board, but how are we supposed to ask them for their number to even get on the low board? Well, that you'll get their, if you're talking about getting their motor carrier number, you'll get that when they sign on to do business with you. Because you need to have a motor carrier number in order to get signed on with these low boards now. So let's just say you are trying to get on DAT low board. If you try to use someone MC number and they already have an account, it's going to tell you we already have an account with this number. So you're going to have to use their access. You're going to also need their access to post their truck and to do things like that. So I'm confused at the part where you say, you tell them you are, okay, so you're saying you tell them that you already have carriers that you're dispatching for. This is regular information. So part of your carrier profile and your information, you're asking them, or you should be asking them, and I think you have the course. So within the course, on the carrier profile, you ask them, do they already have any low board access? And if so, what low boards? Have they already worked with any brokers? And if so, what brokers? Now, a lot of people don't realize is all of these brokers, most of these brokers have their own low boards. So let's just say I use TQL or JB Hunt. Once you sign on and you complete a carrier packet and they approve you to run loads for them, you now have access to their low board. So you're not just getting up every day and only going on DAT low board. Most of them don't even put their loads on DAT low board until nobody picked it up, unless nobody picked it up on their site. So they're going to post their loads, like JB Hunt, they're going to post their loads on their low board first. And same thing for TQL. And then if nobody picks it up, then they go and they post it on the DAT low board or the other low boards. And they do that because they know if they're posting it on their low board and someone picks it up, that means that person is already signed on with them, so they've already completed the carrier packet, so they don't have to go through that process, which they would prefer not to go through that process. So in that case, it's not, it's very common to have to get their low board information. And you want to do that anyway because you don't want to create another bill and have to pay for a subscription if they already have one. And most of them do, because how else were you getting your loads? And you'll know if you start to sign up, you put in your MC number and it'll tell you like, no, you can't get it. We already have a low board. And they would simply either give you their login information or they would assign you what's called a seat. And I think they pay like $5 extra. And when they provide you a seat, you would be able to create your own login and access their low board without using their login. That's the only difference. So that's not, you're not asking them nothing like out of the ordinary by asking for their login information, or for them, what you can actually say, hey, can you provide me with a seat? Or if you don't want to pay for a seat, you can just give me your low board access. They don't mind, they'll give you their low board access. Yes, you can dispatch anywhere, like everywhere. As long, I've never met any of the, personally or seen them in person, any of the carriers who I dispatch for. So wherever they are, yes, you can dispatch. You just got to know how to, get those contracts and kind of, depending on what they're looking for. If they're looking for dedicated lanes or whatever, you would just seek them in those areas that you're dispatching for. Okay, you're doing a self-guided course already. Awesome. No, you don't. You don't look dumb. And you don't even have to mention that you're on the low board, Ms. Coleman. You can just simply say, you can let them know how you book your load. How do you book your loads? I go through my network of brokers, and I also use the low board until I'm able to secure your dedicated lane. So you don't have to say what low board you're using, how you're using it. They know it's not anything. You won't sound dumb. You won't sound dumb at all. Does anyone else have any questions? You're welcome. And like I said, pretty much all of these carriers, they already have low board access. So asking for that, nope, don't go creating a bill. And you can't do it anyway because, like I said, it's going to kick you out. It's going to say we already have an account using that MC number. Any more questions that you all can think of. And I have so much good information for you all tomorrow. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna go over some things, hopefully cover some things you all haven't thought of, and make you all feel better about what you're out here doing when it comes down to securing carriers and getting ready to book loads on their behalf. I am actually excited too. Okay. So are you all, everyone that is in here, are you all just getting started? Where are you at in the process? Oh yeah, I mixed up with the times. Well, I hope you, if you didn't, I hope you got on, you getting registered today for the event for tomorrow, because registration is going to close at 10 p.m. Okay, yep, first week of making cold calls. And the tip, don't start at the, I'm going to save most of my stuff for tomorrow, but I will say just don't start, if you start making calls like in the morning, don't start on page 1. You know, everybody's starting on page 1 of the FMCSA list. Go a little further back so you can get some people to answer the phone. So go to page 8, go to page 9. Oh, so Mark, like I said, register for the Have Secure Carriers. That's going to help with the marketing. That's going to cover that. So if you missed that, here you get this. And it is free. It is more free gems. I'm just not going to post it on YouTube. Yep. Go further out. Everybody's starting at the beginning of the list. So it's kind of like, I always describe it as like if you try to look up insurance quotes, or you were thinking about going to school, and then next thing you know, your phone is ringing off the hook. That is the same thing these people start to deal with once they get their MC number. So if you're starting at the very beginning, these people are not answering the phone. Or someone may not even exactly have a truck yet. You know, they just got their MC number. They're like really new. But it's a good side to that too. So I will say that, but we'll touch on that tomorrow. It's the good side to that as well. So I wouldn't exactly ignore the first, you know, people on the list. But if you want to get some people answering the phone, go further back. Go further back. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Here to answer. Don't be trying to turn around and email me later either. Don't be trying to turn around and email later because y'all scared to ask a question. What is stopping you? If you haven't started cold calling yet, what is stopping you from cold calling? What are you all afraid of? I know a lot of people try to say like that's not effective or whatever. It's very much effective. Very, very, very effective. Very, very, very effective. Mark, have you started calling? Where are you at? You say you already in the middle of a self-guided course. What's going on? How long have you been studying? Social media is very effective. It establishes some credibility, because if you think about it, when you start to, we're talking about online. So let's just say you're promoting your business online, but this person, everybody's scared. So many people are scamming folks. So it's like, I don't know if I want to pay for this person's course. I don't know if I want to sign on for this person to dispatch for me. What if it's a scam? And so when you are posting consistently on social media, you kind of give them something where they can like, okay, let me see a bit of your personality. Let me see that you are truly doing this. Let me see that you have some sort of credibility. If they go on your page, like they can't, you know, that we're in the whole Google me phase, and that's the times that we're in. Google me. Can I look you up on the internet? Do you have any information about you? That's kind of the only way that they can almost do a background check and kind of see like, is this person legit? So it's very important to post on social media, if for no other reason, to kind of just provide some credibility, to establish a background about yourself, so that when a person types in and looks for more information on you, they can say like, oh, okay, this person has been doing this for a while, and they'll scroll all the way down like, okay, this person been doing this for at least a year, at least 2 years. So it does help. It does help. Make sure you post on social media. I got you, Kenyatta. We got some good stuff tomorrow. Okay, just start doing the checklist. Got your logo. Congratulations. Big stuff. Now go put it on all your paperwork. Go make it yours. Yep, go make it your own. If you don't know how to do that, it's a video showing you how to put the watermarks and your logo on the contracts and paperwork. So go through, do that. That's next. Okay, who else we got in here? Where are you all in the process? Najee, you still on here? Where are you at in the process? I'm gonna have to call y'all out. Call y'all out. You can't be shy and dispatch. You gotta be ready to talk to people. You gotta be ready to talk to people. You can't be scared. This is a business. It's who you know. It's who you know. You have to be ready to talk to everybody. You gotta see somebody with a headset on in line at the grocery store, and you gotta be ready to tap them and say, "Excuse me, excuse me." So if y'all scared to talk in here, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when it's time to talk to somebody about getting some money? Okay, I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes, and if you all don't have any questions, you got a good one? Come with it. Come with it, come with it. Go everywhere. Go everywhere. You will learn as you go. You will learn as you go. You will learn as you go. Yep. Don't limit yourself at all. It doesn't matter where your carrier is. You can dispatch them. Because you got the load board. So when you go on that load board, you're going to type in an origin and a destination. And your carrier profile is going to help you because they're going to tell you where they don't want to go, where they do want to go, what areas to avoid. Your carrier is going to help you a lot, and they know that you're not on the road per se, so they're going to give you as much details as possible because they only want to deal with certain types of things. So they'll tell you, don't send me East Coast, I don't want to go on no mountains, I don't want to drive at night, I don't want to do, they'll give you a whole spiel about what they don't want, so you'll know, or they'll say, I only want to go back and forth to this state, and they'll make it easy for you. Okay, Maggie, just starting. Okay, awesome. Did you sign up, Matt, for the free live webinar that I have tomorrow teaching you how to secure your own carrier? Where are you at in the process of learning? Have you taken a course? Are you studying? Okay, you did get in on that. Good, good, good. So we're going to go over some good stuff tomorrow. Exactly. Yes, you got to add that to your job description. Absolutely. Because these drivers are something else. And sometimes you make, and I don't do that anymore. Like I did business with a company that had they had company drivers. I didn't like that. They different. It's different dealing with an owner operator and dealing with company drivers. I'll say that. Oh, I'm glad you found me, Matt. Well, if you are looking for a course, you can look at the information on the website and see if mine aligns with what you're looking for. But it is currently half off until the end of the month. After April, it's going back up to $400. I tell people y'all better get it while y'all can. But it includes all paperwork, everything you can possibly need to know when it comes down to dispatching. So, one-stop shop. One-stop shop. And I'll have my website listed in the description of this, or if you subscribe to the channel, all of my videos has my website in it, so you can find it there. But it's still www.allthelogistics.com, and that's where you can sign up to register for the free live webinar that is tomorrow. That's going to cover how to secure your own carrier. Or if you need the direct link, you'll find that under one of the videos that I recently posted, which tells you that I'm having a live webinar, and then the link is in the description. But on the website, just go under courses, and then you have to click view all. That view all button is kicking y'all butt. I got so many emails with people like, I can't find it, I can't find it. One of the main parts of your job as a dispatcher is going to be to pay attention to detail and to read. So you all have to look. It's a view all button, and if you click it, it's gonna pop right up. I was like, these dispatchers are crazy. Did you have any questions, Matt? Since you're just getting started? Why are you all getting into dispatching? What's your why? I'm curious that. What's your why? Y'all just trying to stay at home? You want extra income? You're trying to build wealth? You want to build a team? Is your significant other a truck driver and you want to dispatch for them? Like, what is your why? Because that is going to dictate a lot of what you do as you get started. If your why is not strong enough, let me not go into our stuff for tomorrow, but what's your why? I'm curious. What is your why? And it's good that you're getting into this, Matt, because you're going to be able to, you're going to know both sides of the business. You know, you've actually been in a truck, and you're going to be more, you're going to be able to relate to these carriers and let them know, like, hey, I already know what you're doing. I've done it too. Okay, stay at home, mom. Okay, that's what I do. I homeschool. Okay, you're in the right place. Yes, you can do this. You can be right at home doing this. Or on vacation doing it. People don't like going on vacation with me. I'm like, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let me answer this phone call. But the good thing is no one can tell you that you can't go. You know, you don't gotta put in no hours or call off. You ain't gotta call off. So that's good. That's a strong why. Being able to be home with your babies. Absolutely. As long as you're ready to get up early, that's all that matters. Because I always say load board by like 7:30. Even if you up at 7, you're going to see it's barely anything posted. But then 7:30 hit, it's just going to start getting loaded. Loaded with loads. Okay, I think y'all are done with questions. I don't know. Okay, yep. Get up, get ready. It's gonna be your new thing. Rise and shine, up and out. Yep, as long as you sit in front of the computer by 7:30, you will be fine. Eastern, everything. I will say that the trucking industry runs on Eastern Standard Time. So by 7:30 Eastern Time, you need to be on that load board or you're going to miss out. Because if it gets about noon, you lost it already. If it gets about noon, you are literally getting, ooh. So that's 4 a.m., okay? So now you got to be getting up a little earlier. Yeah. But the good thing is if you stay ahead of it, yeah, you gotta move. But the good thing is if you stay ahead of it, you can kind of be a day ahead. So if you're booking loads for Friday, you should be booking Monday loads. And then that way Monday, you're just kind of almost on call because you're not necessarily having to like be up to book a load unless or like Monday you're booking for Tuesday. It depends on how you're booking loads, but you definitely want to stay at least a day ahead of the game. And as they're dropping loads, you'll know when it's time for you to book the next loads. Okay, and my email address is listed under all of the, it's on the website, it's under all the videos too, so you can always ask questions later. That's why people are scared to ask questions now because they just gonna email them. I wouldn't go too far in advance when it comes down to booking loads because things happen. You could book loads. Like I said, I wouldn't do more than like 1 or 2 loads in advance because detention happens. So let's just say you have a carrier that's supposed to pick up another load, but they still have the load that they had from the previous load that they did. So now their truck isn't empty. So you don't want to go having to cancel 3 and 4 loads because of one mishap. So you don't want to go too far in advance. But it's going to be really good as you book for them and then you work to get them dedicated lanes. Then it'll be more predictable where they may be doing something 3 days a week and you're just having to book for the other 2 because you've already secured a contract for the other 3. So It'll get easier, but don't do it too far in advance. You will be setting them up and yourself up for failure. And when you have to cancel these loads, like these brokers don't like that, and you don't want to kind of ruin your reputation. Where most of them be understanding if it's not something that happens all the time, but you just don't want to set yourself up like that by trying to book for a whole week, and then you get one day where or something happens, they break down, whatever, if their reefer and their refrigerator goes out, whatever. You don't want to have to go and cancel with a whole bunch of different brokers. So we don't do that too far in advance. 1 to 2 loads at most. But I think staying a day ahead is really good. You want to try not to have to do it this exact same day. And I always tell my mentees, like, when you get a carrier who signs on to do business with you, don't let them like rush you. You let them know, like, hey, it can take up to 72 hours, 48 to 72 hours for me to process your paperwork. This is not just giving you time to process the paperwork, but it's also giving you time to find them a load. You don't want to commit to saying, I'm going to find you a load tomorrow, and now you get on the load board and it's trash or something like that. So give yourself time to prepare. Set yourself up for success by letting them know in advance that, hey, it's going to take a day or two to get your paperwork in. And meanwhile, now you start to look and see what you see. That way you're not going crazy. This is easy to drive yourself crazy if you don't manage things correctly. So don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Does anyone else have any questions? I was asking where you all are from. Were you at in the process of dispatching? Did you just get started? What's your why? Let us know. Have you started cold calling? Where are you? Are you just started? Are you in the middle of a course? Thinking about a course? Are you signed up for the webinar that we have tomorrow, the free live webinar? For those who are just joining. Oh, that screen kind of slow. And again, you all can't always email any questions. That's still no issue. Myself or Stacy, if y'all ever dealt with her, she's excellent. She can answer the questions. If it's a question she don't know the answer to, she gets me around the phone and asks me, and I let her know what to say. So you all have help. I didn't know that. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to look them up. I'm gonna look them up. Thanks, Antoine. Hi, Antoine West. I'm gonna look them up. We gotta stick together. And I tell people, like, even as you all start to dispatch, like, talk to other dispatchers. You never know. You might have a dispatcher who has a contract, but they have a heavy load and now they need some help. We have to work together. It's not a whole no, don't help. That's your competition. Like, we have to stop doing it. That's not how you build wealth. And that's how a lot of these other people they're building teams. Build a team. Build a team. That doesn't mean just go do business with anybody. I'm not saying that, but don't shy away from getting in touch with other dispatchers. Look right now. Look at this list. You all could be exchanging information with each other. You never know. Right now, you in a room with it's 14 people here, and y'all all on the same journey. So I'm actually gonna put my group back on Facebook. I closed it down because people was not interacting. Like, I don't like that. We are gonna build a community and we're gonna communicate with each other. We have to really communicate. Like, let's talk to each other. But if you're gonna get in a group just to sit there and just watch and you're not gonna be a part of the community, and then I'm like, it's no need for it. But I will probably be putting that back together, and it's gonna be like, hey, interact. If somebody is posting and they're asking a question or they are trying to network with you, network. Like, that's what it's for. It's actually to network, to take advantage of the help that's there for you. You never know that somebody may know something that you don't know. So we are all we all have the same goal for the most part, and it's to be successful. So you know, as you go on this journey, you're gonna see the people that are gonna support you are not the people that you expect to support you. So you're gonna need a whole new group of people, and it's gonna be your family gonna be tired of hearing about dispatching. But maybe the other person who's dispatching too will be more, you know, be ready to listen to what you have to say because they're dealing with the same issues, or you may have overcome a situation that they're stuck on. So you can't be afraid to talk to each other. And like I said, that's the biggest thing that you're gonna have to do in this business is you're gonna have to talk to other people. So why not get started now? Okay, you looking to partner with a Spanish and English bilingual dispatcher. Okay, so Norma, do you already have your business up and running? Where are you at in this process? Where are you at in this process? And for those of you who don't know, we do have a free live webinar tomorrow, teach you all how to secure carriers. Registration is going to end at 10 p.m. I extended it, so it's 8:48 Eastern time. Oh, okay, you've been doing it for 2 years. Awesome. So you want someone who's bilingual. Okay, if anyone is bilingual, and you never know, because I leave these up too. So what you have in these comments here, you never know who may reach out to you or jump under the video and say that they are bilingual. So, okay, H&N Dispatch. Awesome. You all jump on it. If you see that, you see there's someone, Norma with H&N Dispatch is looking for a dispatcher who is bilingual. Jump on the opportunity. With a Chromebook. I think so. Now it might be me just being ignorant, but I think like the Chromebooks are more like, I don't know how much you can do on them because I know like kids use them for school. But a regular little laptop, like I got a regular like $200-300 HP laptop and my cell phone. That's what I was, and that's it. You don't have to go all crazy. And then some people get to the point where they have the multiple monitors and all of that. You can get that stuff once the carrier is paying for you. Once you have your carriers, and it makes more sense. But I can see everything I need to see just fine with my laptop. Oh, thank you. Good night. But yes, you don't have to go crazy, Matt. Whatever your preference. I have a laptop. It's like a maybe 15-inch screen, a regular size laptop. I think I got it from Best Buy for like $200-300. It's actually almost time for me a new one. It's like 3 or 4 years old. But yeah, you don't have to go crazy with this stuff. If you prefer a desktop, fine. I like the laptop because I can do this from anywhere I am. It's gonna be hard for you to take your desktop with you on vacation, or you know, if you're going out of town or whatever the case may be. So with your laptop, you can pop it open anywhere. You may be on the go, and then you got your carrier calling to say something happened, and now you want to flip open your laptop to send a quick email. I would say do the emails, do the laptop over a desktop, unless you just know that you're only gonna be at home doing this. But yeah, I'm just not sure of all the functions of a Chromebook, because you're going to have to complete paperwork. So like when the paperwork comes, it's not going to be something that you're like the carrier packet and the Raycon. It's not going to be something that you're printing off. So don't think that either. It's going to be documents. They're going to come over almost like DocuSign, and you're going to complete them via your computer. So you're going to want to make sure that your computer has those functions that you can do, or download like Adobe. Adobe has it where you can do it. Or there's a lot of little free apps that you can look into, and just make sure that you can complete the paperwork from your computer. You don't want to get a carrier and then find out that you cannot complete, or you get a load and then you find out that you cannot complete the paperwork with your computer. They got scanner apps for the phone. They got free PDF scanner apps. So, and when you're dealing with your carriers, they're going to be sending you most of the stuff via text, or they'll scan it on their phone and send it to you. So no, you don't need that. You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it at all. Yeah, have a hard drive. Yeah, but just know this, when you're starting out, y'all don't have to go crazy with all these purchases and all of that stuff. You can wait and add and build onto it, but you don't have to go broke getting started. Don't do that. Make investments as you go to, make to better things. But when you get started out, work to secure you a carrier first. And then upgrade, gift yourself as your anniversaries come about and all of that stuff. Just say, okay, now I get to give me a new computer, now I get to give me this and give me that. You'll end up with a desktop and a laptop. You can have both. Anybody have any other questions? I'm here. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. But yeah, I know a lot of people be like, I don't think I can afford to start the business. It's like, it just depends on how you do it. You can really get in here, and I've been doing this for, I think I'm at 12 or 13 years. It's been a while. Teaching, I only started teaching this maybe 3 to 4 years, maybe 4 years ago. I built my course. It was just a demand for it. I built the course. I saw it wasn't a lot of help out here. I'm like, dang, okay, I'll do it. I help. I wanted what I needed. I became what I needed. I'm like, nobody want to answer questions. I can't reach anybody. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm figuring everything out the hard way. I'm like, well, maybe I could be that person where you all don't exactly have to learn the hard way. I mean, it's still some stuff that y'all not gonna listen to and you're gonna have to learn the hard way, but for the most part, you'll appreciate that, like, hey, no, I tried that, I went through that, and this is what I had to do. So if I can at least offer that, I feel good about it. All love, Kenyatta. All love. So yes. So yeah, I've only been teaching it for about 4 years, but I will say I can appreciate it because having people ask me like, can you do a mentorship? Because I had someone ask me like, because if you watch my earlier videos, I talked about how I didn't have a course and I didn't offer a mentorship, and they're like, well, what made you get one now? And I'm like, what was the demand? Like, I kept getting asked, I kept getting email, can you please do a mentorship? Can you please do a course? And it's like, okay, I'll do it. And the best thing I can do is just make sure it includes everything that a person would need. And it gets better because like I've even changed my course. Like I've done the course and then I went back and said like, no, this may be more effective if they have this information. And I continue to add information to it. I just recently like completely rebuilt the course and added like quizzes and all that stuff because I'm like, okay, how can I help you all better? So when you all engage and you let me know where you are, what you need, what you're stuck on, it helps me teach you all, you know, and come and just address what your actual issues are, because it's kind of hard to guess and gauge like, okay, where are they at now? What are they getting stuck on now? Because everybody's scared to say what they're stuck on or what the issue is. But when you say like, this is what I'm stuck on, this is what I'm having issues with, and I can say like, oh, okay, other people may be having that same issue, let me go change it within a course, or let me do a video on it and provide some type of explanation for people. So it helps. It helps. But it showed me I could do something I didn't know, because I was not thinking about building no course, and that was crazy. That was a lot. I was like, oh my God. It took it to another level, and then mentoring and everything. So yes. But again, I'm here to answer any questions. So I'll give it a few more minutes to see. There's a not really, well, if you're talking about like solely with the load board, like if you're talking about like the DAT load board, but what you'll find is, like I mentioned earlier, all these different brokers have their own load boards, or if you are building connections with the brokers that you've already run those for, you're not really running into those issues. They're kind of going to the people that they know do good business. And people are getting scared, but it's not like, you gotta believe half of what you see. Like, I'll say that, because I think all that whole fear mongering, and it's like, this is an industry, as most I've been in it, like, it's kind of like the stock market where it goes up and down, but it's consistent. People they can talk all day about these self-driving trucks and all of this, but this is an industry that is going to still be standing in the end. this is the business still going to be standing. Just do your due diligence, do your research, see where you want to take this. A lot of people get in here and they use this as a stepping stone. I've had people do this, start a business so that they can purchase a whole salon and hair business, and that was it. So, or some people that decide to do this and they're going to dispatch it so they can buy their own truck, and then they're going to do X, Y, Z. So just have your plan. And I don't take on other people's issues. So someone may say that it's hard for them right now, or it's a bad time to do this right now, or a bad time to do that. And I don't let that apply to me. I see for myself, because that's what's happening to you. I don't invite that to my world. I be like, no. So I haven't had any issues. And it may be the route of, some people are going different routes. Like I said, it goes up and down. The low, when you're talking about the low board, when you're talking about the market, the rates are always going to go up and down. That's one thing that you can do as a dispatcher is maybe something that you can decide to post is keeping up with the market, informing your carriers what's going on. Some of them know, some of them don't know. So any mega carriers that hire, I don't. What I focus on is teaching people how to get out there on their own, to work for themselves. So I don't really look too much into bigger businesses hiring, because I encourage people to control their own income. So when you talk about going and getting hired, learning this business to go get hired by somebody, it's like it kind of goes against what I'm kind of encouraging people to do. So I don't really. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Alex. Are you getting into dispatching? If you are, I got a free webinar tomorrow. Jump in, how to secure your carrier. The information is on the website. I'll link that in the description. So if you all come back to it, or if you all go ahead and rewatch this, you will see. But yeah, I wouldn't take on the negative. And they were saying that, think about it. Let's just go back to COVID. Go back to COVID when nothing else was running, when nothing else was going. What was still going? Who was still on the road? So who was essential? Just keep that stuff in the forefront of your mind. Don't take in all that other mess. Don't accept that that's true to you. So, but no, Norman, sorry, I don't know any mega carriers. You're probably looking on like Indeed and stuff, but I said nobody's controlling my income anymore. Forget that. I'm sure there are, though. I'm sure there are. Okay, does anybody else have any questions for me? Give you all a couple minutes. I've almost been on an hour. Say who you are. You never know who's watching. You never know who wants to do business with you. You never know who already has a contract. I could probably, Norman, if you email me, it's not a mega carrier or anything, but I do have a young lady who recently emailed me, and she's looking to bring dispatchers on, or a couple of dispatchers on, that are experienced and they can help with her workload, and she wanted to pay a certain percentage. So if you want to email me and get that information, you can. Yep, trucks is moving. Exactly. So I really never feed into that hole. Is it a recession? Is it a bad time? Not for me. Not for anybody I know. So I can't relate. And then you have the people that think you're just saying that, like, no, you just saying that. Like, no, I'm so serious. The truckers is trucking. They may not be happy with the lanes. If they don't have a dedicated lane, they may not be happy with the market right now. But nobody's happy with the market right now. Even people that are trading stocks right now, but it goes down, it goes back up, and down again, and that's just how it goes. It's people that's been in this industry for 20, 30 years, and they're just used to it. Like, this always happens around this time of the year. Don't get distracted with who's doing what, saying what. Don't accept it as your truth. You're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine. But there are truckers out here that are looking for good knowledgeable, transparent dispatchers who are willing to hustle. And make sure when you do secure a carrier, you secure someone who is aligned with your mission. You don't want somebody that's like, I'll work when I feel like it. If you're trying to hustle and really make some money, no, you want somebody that's really out here trying to work because you want to keep them booked and you want to keep them on the road because that's how you get your bread and butter. So, okay, guys, I'm about to get off. If you think of any questions, you can always drop them in the comments section and I'll revisit and answer the questions. My website is www.allthelogistics.com. My email is toriafoster@allthelogistics.com. If you can't find it on this video because I didn't get to write it in the description yet, you can find it on any of my other videos. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you sign up. The registration is going to close at 10 p.m. and the course is going to go back up to 400 at the end of the month. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow for those who register. Bye-bye.